Hello everyone. I hope this week has been okay. I'm sorry for the delay today. I know we are supposed to start at 5, but I had doing some things at school, so that's the reason I'm starting this late. So right now we're going to continue what we were doing last week with Algebra 1, which was linear equations. So just as a reminder, all videos are available in the YouTube channel. I always share it to Discord. And also I always put in the description of the YouTube video all the links to Discord, all the things we do. So now I'll continue. The question is write an equation that is best represented by the graph. So right now, what I like to do is just watching, like what I did last week was just watching at the graph. By just seeing the points with our eyes, we could see what the equation was since we're using the y. Wait, oh, y equal m x plus b when m is a slope and b, wait, slope and b is the y-intercepts. And so we can do that visualizing the graph. Another thing we could do is just taking 2 points, calculating. So that's what I'll try to do today. Just that, like I showed the two options today. And now I can see that this point, okay, I know that this is 1, it's going to be -1. This is going to be 1, this is going to be 1, and this is going to be -1. So it's the middle between 0 and 2. So this point is going to be -1, comma 1. Always the x or the horizontal part first, and then the y or the vertical part next. So we have this, so this point is -1, comma 1, and this point is 1, comma 0.5 because it's in the middle of 1 of 0. So it's 0.5. Now to calculate the slope, we can just use the slope formula, which is m equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we can use either this being x2 or this being x1, but I always do this first the left part and then the right part, but it doesn't matter the order, just that you pair them right, like x2 with y2 and then x1 with y1. So I'm going to substitute the values, so I get 0.5 minus 1 and then 1 minus -1. So 0.5 minus 1 is the same as 1 minus 0.5 is just 0.5, but since the 1 is it has a negative sign, our answer is also going to be negative, so our answer is negative 0.5. Then minus and minus is positive, so this is going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now like we could divide it and we're going to get negative 0.25. That's our slope, which is the same as -1/4. Now another way to do it, that's the one I like the most, is through the graph, but I show that in the next example. Now we have our slope, so we have our m. And we know that the equation is going to be y equal -1/4 or negative 0.25x plus, we don't know this point. So what we can do is that we can use, like, for finding the y-intercept. I think I did it here. Yes, I did it here. Because it's complicated to find the y-intercept in this case just by looking. We could use a random point, could be either this one or this one. Um, I'm going to say, and I'm going to use like the slope formula, but a little bit like different, I could say. Now we have this, like this part, and we could multiply x2 minus x1 in both sides. So that's what I'm going to do. I have the m, put it right here. I have the m is equal y minus y1 or y2, doesn't matter. X minus x1 or x2, it doesn't matter. Now I multiply both sides by x minus x1, so x minus x1, and this cancel, so I get that y minus y1 is equal m x minus x1. Now based on this, I can use substitute any point that we have. I'm going to use negative 1 comma 1 since it is the easier one to use. So I can say that y minus 1 equal negative 1, 4. I have the m x minus the value of the x is negative 1. So negative and negative is positive. So I will say x plus. We multiply negative 1 over 4 times x and negative 1 over 4 times positive 1. So we get that y minus 1 is equal negative 1 over 4x minus 1 over 4, since negative 1 over 4 times 1 is just negative 1 over 4. And now we add the 1 in both sides, this cancel, and we get the y equal negative 1 over 4 x minus negative 1 over 4 plus 1 will be, is the same as saying 1 minus 4. Um, so we find the, like we say that the, like, first of all, I explained this before, but I would like to say it again. So every time we're working with fractions, we need to have the same denominator in the addition and subtraction. So since we are subtracting these fractions, we need to have the same denominator. So we say the denominator is 4, and in this case, like any entire number, like whole number, is going to be over 1. So 1 over 1, like 1 divided by 1 is just 1. So that doesn't matter that it is over 1. Um, now we say 4 divided by 1, this division is 4. Now 4 multiplied by 1, so I say 4 minus, we get the sign now. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So we say here 1. We get that 4 minus 1, which is going to be 3. So our result is 3 over 4. Now we can substitute. We're going to say, since our result is positive, we're going to say plus 3 over 4. And this right here is going to be our answer. Now in this case, I'm just going to use the points, which I think is easier. It's just like a bit tricky, so I want to show all the possibilities. And I see that also every two squares I have one whole number, so this is 1, this is 1, negative 1, this is negative 1. Now for the slope, we all know that the slope is going to be rise over run. I know this point is 1, comma 1, and this point is negative 1, comma 2. Okay, and now the slope I know is going to be, I'm going to say 1, since every 2 squares, like every 2 squares is like one entire number. You can see here is 2, here is 1. So I go from 2 to 1, which is 1. Okay, now I go 1 and 2. So this is 1 and this one is 2. Now since it is rise over room, the rise is always the y value, so and then the room is the x value, so it is y over x, like this slope formula. I'm going to say that the slope m is going to be 1 over 2. But since it is going down, so it's going down downward, as you can see here, it is from a greater value and then it's decreasing right here. I'm going to say that it is negative. See, if it was like if it were like this, then the answer will be positive, but it's going down, so basically that. So now we have the slope, a lot easier than doing all the calculations just by visualizing. We want to know the y-intercept. We could do the same formula, but in this case I think it is not necessary, since we can easily see in the graph that this is the y-intercept, which is the midpoint. Like it's exactly between in the middle, 2 and 1, so I could say that it is 1.5. Which is the middle number, 1.5. And now that we know our slope and our y-intercept, we can just say that y is equal negative 1 over 2x plus 1.5, since the y-intercept is positive. Well, let's keep going and let's go a little bit faster. For this one, okay, this is a flat line right here, as you can see it. I'll make it, wait, okay, this works. Yeah, I know this is difficult to see, but it's right here. Okay, whatever. This is just a flat line, so every time you see a flat line, they do not have a slope. So the slope here is 0, and equals 0. Since you see it's right over wrong, the wrong is infinite, like it's always going to the right or to the left, depending on what you see. But it doesn't have right, so it will be 0 over any number, which is going to always be 0. So our slope is equal to 0. Our y-intercept, we can say here easy. We see that this is 1, so from this is 0 to 1, and this is the midpoint between 0 and 1. So y-intercept will be 1 over 2, which is 0.5. We have the y-intercept 0.5. And having this, we can say that y equals 0x plus 0.5. Now 0 times any number is going to be 0, so we can say that y equals 0.5. And this is our equation. Very easy to do. Okay, now in this case, you see that the line is vertical. Okay, it's right there in the middle of 1 and 2. So we know that this point is going to be 1.5 in the middle of 1 and 2. We want to know the equation. In this case, it could be tricky. So you see that here it has a y-intercept. Now here it doesn't have a y-intercept since it is a vertical line. Now we cannot say y equal something because it doesn't have, like, it never touches the y. Like, it's a vertical line, so we cannot say that y equal whatever. So in every case you see a vertical line, which is the one that it goes from up to down, you're going to say x equal. Now you here have the 1.5, which is the x-intercept. So in this case, it's going to be x equal 1.5. If the line will be like this, like passing through -1, it's just going to be x equal -1, and so on. But that only happens when the line is vertical. Now if you have a line like this, the one we did in the previous exercise, it is a horizontal line, then in this case it's going to be y equal 2. That's the difference. Now let's continue. Now, this question has two parts. Okay, in part A, which equation represents 5 times the sum of A and 2 times and 2 is the same as B? Oh, okay, 5 times the sum of A and 2 is the same as B. So basically, every time I say an what I always do is put these two numbers together. So 5 times, I'm going to multiply by 5 because I see the time, and I see the sum of A and 2. So I know that it will be 5 times the sum of these two numbers together. It will be, okay, 5 times the sum of A and 2, and here's the sum, so A plus 2 is the same as B. Oh, if it is the same, it is equal. So I will say, okay, 5 times the sum of A and 2 is equal to B. And that's basically what they're saying. The keywords here are the time. Now sum is you to like make the sign. Sum and A and 2. And that and is very important, which is the thing. Like, it is a word that is saying us that we are multiplying 5 by this whole thing because they are together. And now it says that it's the same as B, so it is equal to B. And now I see my answer here. That's exactly what I did. Now you say, oh, why is not B? Like, why there is not A, like this one? And it is because of the and. You say 5 times the sum of is the sum of these two numbers together. That's the reason it is not A. Now, which values of A and B are solutions to the equation? Set all that apply. Okay, we can plug in values. That's what I would do. So I have that 5. I'm going to start with A. So 5 times 0 plus 2 equals 2. Now, 0 plus 2 is just 2, and 5 times 2 is going to be 10 equal to, which is not true. This is invalid. Now, A equals A1, B equals 15, 5 times 1 plus 2 equals 15. 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 times 5 is 15, so we have the 15 is equal 15, so this is true. This is one of our answers. Now we know that we need to continue to keep going because it says said all that apply. So we need to continue until the last one. Now, 83 and B 17. 5, 3 plus 2 equals 17. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Is not equal 17. This is not true. Now 6 and 40. So 5. 6 plus 2 equals 40. Now 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. So in this case, 40 equals 40. And this is true. Now for E, A, 9 and B, 47, I'm going to do here. 5, 9 plus 2 equals 47. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 times 5 is 55. So 55 is not equal to 47. So this is false. And the only ones that we choose are B and D. Now let's continue. 17. A dance group sells X premium tickets and Y regular tickets for a show. A premium ticket costs $15. And a singular ticket costs 3 less than the premium ticket. The group raises $1,380 from selling tickets. Now what I want you to do is that looking at these equations and you solving by your own and then match it. Because if you look at the equations, you can get so confused that you might get it wrong because of that. Right now, I see that one premium ticket, which is the same as X, you see here, X premium tickets. So one premium ticket costs $15. So X costs $15. Now, a regular ticket costs 3 less than, you see here, less than a premium ticket. So if the premium ticket is 15 and this costs 3 less than, it will be just 15 minus 3, which is the same as 12. So 15 minus 3, which is equal to 12. Now I say that one regular ticket is Y. So I know that Y is going to be 12. Now I said that all X's and all Y's, which is all premium tickets and all regular tickets, are going to be equal 1380 because that's the total amount they raised. So I know that 15x plus 12y is going to be equal 1380. Because I know that my premium tickets are X and my premium tickets are $15. I know that my regular tickets are Y and my regular tickets are $12. And I know that 1380 is the total amount. So then I'll look at my choices. And you can see here, as easy as the side one I made. Now sometimes you could see some weird, but for example, they could give you the answer like 12y equal negative 15x plus 1380. And that's true because the only thing we do is just subtract 15x both sides. So this cancel out, which is exactly the same. Just in case they give you something like that. Now 18. An airplane reaches an altitude of 9,000 meters and then begins to descend at a constant rate of 625 meters per minute. Which of the following equation can be used to determine y, the altitude of the airplane after x minutes? So first we start. We say that it begins at 9,000 meters. So our starting point. Yes, don't look at this first. Our starting point, which can be translated as or y-intercept, because it's our starting point. So starting point, which is the same of y-intercept, is going to be equal to 9,000. Now it says that it is descending. Descending is going down. It's going down at a constant rate of 625 meters per minute. So it's going to be 625 meters per 1 minute. So rise is 625. Run is the one which is 1 minute, but since it is descending, it will be negative. Now we want to find an equation for y. Now we know that y equal mx, sorry, mx plus b, when m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So we already have this. Oh, they literally gave it to us, which is negative 625x plus, oh, y-intercept is going to be 9,000 since it is our starting point. So 9,000. And when I go here, let me make this bigger. And I see this. Okay, what happened? Okay, and I see here it's going to be big. And that's our answer. Now 19. The table shows the amount of money in Pam's saving account at the end of each month. Okay. Select the equation that can represent the growth of money in Pam's savings account. Now, first, we need the slope, so we can select any two numbers that you like. I'm just going to say 3 and 1 because those, I don't know, they are the easier ones. So I'm going to say n equal y minus 4. I'm going to say this is y2, or this is y, this is y1, x is x1. So y minus y1 is going to be 3 minus 1 over, wait, never mind, this is x, I'm sorry. Y minus y1 will be 1,250 minus 550 over x2 minus x1 is 3 minus 1. Now, 1,250 minus 550 is going to be equal 700 over 2, since 3 minus 1 is 2, and this is going to equal 350. I'll go up to my answers and I see that all of them has a 350 minus 1. So this goes out. Like, and now the only difference is that you know your formula. And your formula in this case is going to be y minus y1 equal 350 x minus x1. You need to substitute a value that will fulfill those requirements. I don't think you can. This is easy to do with a calculator, but I don't think you can. I think you can use it in the test. So this is kind of weird because all of them are positive and we don't have negative um negative options, which is definitely weird. Okay, and so I'm trying to think because this I'm maybe I did something wrong here. Anyway, no, I don't think so. If I calculate this out, this 3, okay, 1,000, what's divided by 3? It's also 350. So yeah, the result is 350 for all of them. Um, now I'll try to see. I'll substitute the values here, and I have that 4, say 100. Okay, yeah, I know why. Now you see here that we have these points. I'm sorry for the delay. I was just trying to see. This is a really weird exercise. I didn't see anything like this before. Um Now you see that here this cannot be because this point is going to be negative 3 comma 250, and we already have the 1250 here, and this one is going to be negative this is going to be negative 1 comma negative 550, which could be sincerely, but since we because of our slope, I know that that's not going. That's only to confuse ourselves and make it pick the option. So right now I have with this. I am with this this equation left, and I can say, well, how I'm gonna prove that's the equation I'm looking for. We can substitute them one of the values. So I will say that y equal 500. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use another color. I'm going to say, okay, x is 1 and y is 550. So 550 plus 850 equal 350, 1 plus 3. Now, this is going to be equal 1400, and this is 350 times 4, since 1 plus 3 is always before. And then if you do 350 times 4, you're also going to get 1400, so 1400 is equal 1400. It's just that this point is not in the table they are giving us. So we actually need to make sure it is in there. Also, if you have, I don't think you guys have a graphing calculator, so that's pretty much it. I'll do one more. This is the last one because sorry, it was a little bit late today. I still need to do your geometry after this. So number 20, the top ramp is 8 feet above ground level. Over the 20-foot length of the ramp, the height decreases at a constant rate to ground level. Okay. If X represents the horizontal distance from the top of the ramp and Y represents the height of the ramp, which equation shows the relationship between X and Y? Okay, let's divide it in part. First, they're talking about a ramp, so I know that it's going to look something like this. Okay, this is my ramp. Wait, let me make it. I'm trying to make it. Okay, that's good. And I know that the top of the ramp, which is going to be right here, is 80 feet. And this is 8 feet. Now, over the 20-foot length of the ramp, okay, 20 foot, okay, this is 20 foot. Since the length of the ramp is 20 foot, I know that this is going to be 20. The horizontal distance decreases at a like constant rate. How do we basically it is asking how do we make an equation from this data? We know this the head of the ramp and we know the length of the ramp. And you can be thinking, well, now what? But what we need to do is just this is going to be 0. If it is the length, so this here, I'm going to make it like in the x coordinate and y coordinate. So we have this where I'm going to make a straight line. We have this. You know this is 0. I say that this is 8. And then here is the 20. And this will be the ramp. We know 2 points. That's the only thing we need for our equation. So the 2 points are going to be 0, 8, which is right here, 0, 8. And then here we have 20, 0, 20, 0, right here. Now since we have the 2 points, we can calculate the slope. So slope equal y2, which is 0 minus y1, 8 over 20 minus 0. Then it's going to be negative 8 over 20. We can simplify by 4, so I'll divide this by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So since the 8 is negative, it's going to be negative 2 over 5. And we have this law, which is negative 2 over 5. And we already had from before the y-intercept since it was the top of the ramp. So our v is going to be equal, or our y-intercept is going to be equal 8. Now I can say I know that y equal mx plus b. I have my slope, so y equal negative 2 over 5x. Now my v is 8, so plus b. And I go to my options and I see, oh wait, 8, b is 8. And I see that it is b. That will be all for today. I'll try to upload it to YouTube as soon as I'm able to do it. It might be tomorrow. The latest will be Saturday. I'm sorry. That's all. Thank you for being here. Don't forget the Discord link will be there. Also, video explaining more about linear equations, but I think it could be challenging if you're just starting now. And that's all. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everything else.